All right. And all the mumbo jumbo there. Hopefully that intro video came through and you were able to see that. And the levels are good now because we checked them yesterday. I just shared it actually. It was like a thing that said this is merely a test just to see if everything was working here because it's been 3 months or so since I did the last live and I love doing these lives. So I just want to make sure that they sound the best as I'm looking up right now at this mic. Just needs to go over a little bit there towards the hi-hat. So thanks for tuning in. If this is your first time here, welcome. As I mentioned, it's been 3 months since I did the last live here. I always look forward to doing these over even just the individual shorts that I try to post, and then the weekly videos or every other weekly videos. Those are a lot of fun, and I enjoy those. And if they're helping you out and they've helped you out in the past, that's awesome. So stick around today because I think this lesson is going to be really helpful for you, whether you're a beginner drummer or maybe you're a little bit more intermediate. These are things that I've learned over the past 23 years of drumming with ghost notes and ways to use those creatively. So if you go back and you look at the past lessons live that I've done, we went over a few creative things. We went over creating fills. I think there was one of those, and I've even done a few, like a series of the Fill Factory series. If you haven't checked that out, there's a playlist on my channel for those, and where I talked about linear drumming, and then I evolved that into the next lesson of a little bit more advanced, where it was linear drumming and some paradiddles, I think, and just different stickings, inverted paradiddles. And those will be really helpful for you here. But another thing that I did is I delved into those same concepts into as far as like YouTube live lessons, and I talked about soloing and phrases and coming back to those phrases, and those are just things that I've learned, and I'm going to teach them the best I know how. I know that there are drummers out there that are far better than me, but I know also that there are some things that I have used and kind of like been able to apply to my own drumming that, I haven't necessarily been able to directly learn. I mean, because, it's like you look at any artist, you look at any musician, and they are constantly being inspired by the previous generation. And so these are things that I've learned and that I've been able to apply based off of things that, I had learned, and then kind of learned, taught my own concepts to myself, if that makes sense. So in this video, we're talking about ghost notes. So I actually did a few videos, maybe just one, maybe two, I don't know at this point, but we talked about ghost notes. And the thing that I talked about with ghost notes is the drag rudiments. And all the drag rudiment is I have to mute this mic every time I play the drums because it'll pick it up. So it's just left, left, right, 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 left, and you want to accent the note that follows the double. So you could ghost the left, left, and then accent the right, ghost the right, the two right rights, accent the left, and you're just alternating at that point. But all I did was talk about in that video specifically how we can use those drag rudiments in just basic rock beats. I'll say it because I always say here, we talk about that here a lot because it's just easy to go off of. And you can apply it to other things as well. If you're doing a blues shuffle. But if you take, I can't think of the song name for the life of me right now, but if you take Red Hot Chili Peppers, for instance, Chad Smith, he does this stuff a lot. And it's that song that's like, they sing about California a lot, but it's like California at the beginning, where he's going. Bam, bam, bam. So it's really like he's just doing, and obviously he's doing those ghost notes on the snare, and so whether it's just a single ghost note. But then he does those drag rudiments. Now, with those drag rudiments, what's cool about that is you can decide whether or not how closely tight together you want that. If you want the right, right, left, or left, left, right, or if you want to space it apart a little bit, and by that I just mean maybe not as conglomerate. So tighter together. With that, I'm just doing a left, left, right, and then accenting on the snare, really. So as you make those notes closer together, you're really just buzzing the ghost note at that point. And so you may be playing this and going, okay, I know how to do that. Or you may be on the other end of the spectrum and you may be going, hey, man, you're going too fast for me. How am I able to get those doubles quieter? So this is really perfect, the perfect opportunity. And this is something that I had done in the past and I still try to practice today, just different ghost note variations. But with those doubles, you're just going to want to sit there and practice. Slow it down even and get that as quiet as you can with both hands. Like annoyingly quiet. And so as you get faster with those doubles, what you can do is and you get better control is you can actually just let go of the stick and catch it on the second bounce. And that's how I've taught double stroke rolls as well. And that's how I learned them. So if you see, hopefully this camera catches it back here. Maybe it doesn't. But you're just letting the stick go. It's like all I'm doing is almost like the push-pull method, but I'm not going to teach that because I'm not as comfortable with more advanced push-pull stuff, although I do play that a lot. But that's all you're doing is you're just... But you want it as quiet as possible. And I always talk about playing open-handed and working on your weaker hand, and so that's perfect for you to be able to do that as well. If you're not, if you're used to just playing crossover. So work on the spacing there, making those notes further apart, and then squeezing them together, for that right, right, left, or left, left, right. And then even just buzzing that, because as you get, that's what a multiple bounce roll is, essentially, is you're just buzzing it, and it's the same principle here. Now with that, as you're practicing the doubles and just doing that beat there and getting used to the drag rudiment with that basic rock beat and getting used to the buzzing, practice the buzzing as well, because I mean that is something that is I feel like maybe I don't really necessarily like buzz rolls as much as open stroke rolls, which is double stroke rolls, or even single stroke rolls, but practicing buzz and you're just letting your stick bounce multiple times and then stopping it, an undefined amount. And then so obviously for that beat though, it's it's going to be less bounces because you're focusing on the beat, and you're just adding that layer of that buzz ghost note between the rock beat. right there, though, that's like kind of like a swingy type of beat, you know, because it's almost versus what I just was talking about, the basic rock beat that you could do. So shuffles as well. Practice that. The doubles and the buzz rolls there. Real quick, I'm going to take a drink here, and I'm going to scroll over and just see if there's any activity, anybody commenting here. Top chat. Sweet. Okay. No comments here. Just making sure, because sometimes we just get into it and yeah. And with that, with the shuffles, you probably heard me slurping my water over here. With the shuffles, let's see something here really quick. I just want to make sure that everything sounds good on the end of YouTube's. With the shuffles, that leads me to the next point here I'm going to get to. And trying to give me a sec, guys. Just making sure that everything is good here. Give me a sec, guys. Okay, sweet. Yeah, that looks good. Just making sure that everything is good here. Hey, everybody. Welcome, by the way. I see 4 people tuned in. I just wanted to make sure that my thing wasn't muted. I'm just sitting here talking like a doofus. But with the drag rudiment and with the buzzed drag and then that basic rock beat, and as I went into the shuffle, that opens it up to even doing and this is maybe, you know, a little bit more advanced, but this is something I definitely recommend, and it's something that I'm always still working on, is that triplet stuff, because that's what a shuffle is. It's just a triplet minus the middle note. And so, and you'll hear this, and I did a video going over shuffles and talking about Bonham's beat, and you know, the Toto song, and just a few different. I think I talked about Stuart Copeland's too, The Police. I forget what song it is, but tons of songs, and it's based off the Purdy Shuffle. And he's another phenomenal drummer, and obviously like the reason that we have this halftime shuffle. But with shuffles, with that being a triplet, and I mentioned just doing. Something that you can do also there is just adding making the triplet complete by doing that middle note on the snare. That's basically what Rosanna is with the Toto beat. So, I mean, obviously start that off slow. I'm talking monotonous. Like, this stuff drove my mom nuts when I was younger. I mean, obviously she loved to, you know, hear us play and was proud of us, but even the neighbors, you know, I don't know how many times I got the cops called on me for drumming in different places. So, like, that's how you want to be so intentionally monotonous with just. just getting that ghost note. And something, I don't know if you can tell based off the cameras here, something that I do also to kind of help me sometimes with those ghost notes is I'll move the stick over to almost the side, because you get less volume anyways kind of over there. I don't always do that. But it helps out a lot if you want that less volume, especially as you're learning these ghost notes and getting better with them. You want to be able to, get those as quiet as possible. And so that's obviously something I mentioned I talked about in that shuffles video. Check that out as well. But something else that we can do, and something I would recommend, and I'm kind of jumping around here, but I'm trying to start off, more, maybe more entry level and work my way up a little bit. Something else that you can do is with that rock beat, once again, we typically have eighth notes on the hi-hat for counting. And then what you could do is do 16th notes on the snare drum, and just with your left hand, and just do ghost notes. You don't even have to accent the snare backbeat yet. Just... As you see, I did a little drag rudiment within those 16th notes, but don't even accent that backbeat yet. And once again, as I mentioned with the shuffles being monotonous, be monotonous here. Practice that until you're tired of practicing it, and then practice it more. And so you're practicing those 16 notes, and you're doing the eighth notes on the hi-hat, and then as you feel comfortable, add the backbeat. I just kind of added some hi-hat there, but... And so, with that, as I mentioned, try to get those ghost notes as quiet as you can. I'm still always trying to work on getting my ghost notes even quieter than I already have them. And something that you can do also is I'll try to turn my wrist as I'm playing those ghost notes to try to find that sweet spot almost. Like, I don't know, sometimes I'm like, okay, I'm doing them. What if I turn it to, different grips? Find that sweet spot, kind of works for you. And sometimes I feel like, that may help me to kind of almost think a little bit more forward with what I'm drumming, a little bit more creatively. Even if that's not technically right in terms of we got to play matched grip at all times. I've played to where I'm, doing finger control with my left hand with, the what is this, the French grip or the... Dude, I gotta Google stuff right now. I've done videos of this. French grip, so what, you'll do, I've done it to where I don't have match grip, is all I'm saying. I'll play stuff, yeah, it's the French grip, where your thumb's facing downward. And I've done it to where I'm doing finger control and French grip with my left hand, and then my right hand, I totally have almost a German grip, which is this, with or American even, which is a little bit twisted, but the German grip is just your palms facing down towards the ground. And I've done it to where finger control with my left hand, and then just I'm using the Muller method with my right with the American grip. So there's really not like a right or wrong way. It's just what works for you. So my point being is with those ghost notes, mess around with that. If German grip is where you're going to be able to get the best ghost notes, the quietest ghost notes, do that. You know, German, American grip, or French. I try to mute this mic before I drum, especially when I'm crashing, because I feel like it kind of overpowers the mic here. But as you're practicing those 16th notes, my bottle keeps breaking right here. As you're practicing those 16th notes with that basic rock beat, with the 8th notes there on the hi-hat, and you get comfortable with that, I mean, and you're going to want to practice that slow too, because I mean, the thing is, like, I'm playing this, but when I first started practicing it, I'm sitting here like, trying to get that just consistent, you know, those notes consistent on the snare drum there. But as you get more comfortable with those 16th notes on the snare drum, you can add almost like that drag within the 16th notes. And also, you don't have to do the 16th notes just decka, 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 decka the whole time. You can kind of like, where do you want to take certain 16th notes out of there, you know? And if that helps you, then do that too, because that's just going to add more thought out, like a more thought out approach to layering like your drum parts. And so it's like, you know, if you want to go, leaving that space, you know, because it's I mean, it's still 16th notes. You're just going da da da. And so that's just going to actually make it a little bit more difficult on you, because if you're taking away notes and leaving those to rest, you're going to have to think about it a little more, because that's all, honestly, when you hear the notes that are like, those, I mean, that's just 16th notes. You're just taking away a ton of notes. And so that just is another great exercise there. In and of itself, I've talked about Groove Scribe before. Mike Johnston's online like transcribe tool for drums, and I've come up with whether it be like, oh man, I'm playing something and I go, that's really cool. I want to transpose that on Groove Scribe, or if I'm just on Groove Scribe and I come up with a cool beat and I'm like, I'm going to learn that on drums. And so get on Groove Scribe and notate those out. Just throw some 8th notes as hi-hat there, and mess around with where you can do those ghost notes, and do it both on that Groove Scribe app or off of it, you know, and then practice both using it and then applying it to the drums, and then just messing around on the drums and going, hey, wait a sec, I want to transpose that in Groove Scribe. And so with that, that's what I was just doing there. 8th notes there. Where can I fit ghost notes, 16th notes, other than just bucka, 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 bucka? Where can I like take away? and that's really going to help you. It's going to help you out. And then so kind of dialing it back to triplets, that's something with triplets that, I talked about the shuffles and everything and doing the triplets there. But as you're just doing the rock beat on the snare drum, and I guess depending on how you're counting it, let's just say, it's quarter notes and you want to do triplets there. That is definitely something that you can do. And those are really fun. And that's honestly, I'm always working on triplets. Not that I'm not working on 16th notes, but triplets, they're just so, there's something about them, I think, just kind of like the, it's like, there's 3 notes, and so it's just like duck, 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 and traditionally when you learn triplets, it's like right, left, right, left, right, left. And kind of the anticipation of like, oh, I'm starting this next triplet with my other hand. So it's just kind of like opens up the door. I mean, obviously, because you hear shuffles and you're like, dang, dude, that's like really groovy. And it's just like triplets in general. But something right there is you can do other than just doing the triplets like something else you can do is just right left left between the hi-hat and on the snare. And I think I talked about this in my first ghost note video that I posted a couple years ago, but I'm bringing it all together here in this video for ghost notes and for helping you like to get over those, because I know how difficult those can be, but I know also how rewarding they are, like when you learn them and when you're able to like apply those within music. And so with that, if we're doing right, left, right, left, right, left, between the hi-hat and the snare, ghosting the snare. With that, it's right, left, right, left, accenting the snare. That's just going to open up the door that much more. And something else that's kind of like a little bit more advanced is as you get more comfortable with rudiments and like practicing like paradiddles and the inverted paradiddles and double paradiddles. So paradiddles, right, left, right, left, right, left. You have all the inverted paradiddles there, which are just the different stickings of that, the right, left, right is one, right, left, right, left. There's another one that's right, left, right, left. Just different stickings of the single paradiddle. And those are what they're called, they're called inverted paradiddles. But then you have double paradiddles, triple paradiddles, and you have all the hybrid paradiddle rudiments. But something that you can do is practicing those paradiddle rudiments, ghosting the doubles, I'm just doing an inverted paradiddle I do a lot, and that's the right, left, right, left. And then I'll switch between that and doing the regular paradiddle and then add some double paradiddles. And all it is, I mean, people when they first start drumming are like, why do I need to learn rudiments? And you don't need to learn rudiments, but I would recommend learning rudiments if you want to continue to get past certain plateaus or roadblocks in the way to your betterment in drumming. And so, as you're doing that and you're practicing those rudiments, the paradiddle based rudiments, you can start getting just meticulous in thinking, okay, what if I just want to add like another left or right where there isn't one? And that's where you're really going to be able to come up with things and not be so like bogged down by just like, I have to learn this rudiment this way exactly because it said so on Vic First's website or whatever, or Drumeo said so, or Evan said so on a two musician, like whatever. Like take everything that you're learning, because that's the point of it anyways, and I'll kind of point it back to what I just said, but it's like everybody is drawing inspiration from someone else. It's like you look at, Elvis and who he drew inspiration from, the bands before him, Beatles, who they drew inspiration from, Led Zeppelin, who they, drew inspiration from, and all these different artists, like leading up to our modern age, who they all drew inspiration from. And it's the same thing for drummers. It's like, okay, certain drummers are like, oh, Buddy Rich was my favorite drummer, or Gene Krupa, or, Purdy, whoever it is, and then you kind of go on. It's like, oh, Neil Peart, he's my favorite drummer, it's like, oh, who's your favorite drummer? And it just keeps going back to whoever. And so, as musicians, we're just drawing inspiration there, but it's like, where can you add sticking? And then also, I've talked about the linear drumming, which I definitely recommend, the Fills Factory series. It's going to help you out. And not only with just fills, but these beats too, and ghost notes. So And so that's kind of something that I've talked about in those Fills Factory series videos. It's just getting used to those different stickings, and I kind of progressed it into, linear drumming. I think I started out with linear drumming, but basics of linear drumming and how, you're using your kick drum, kick, and then no two limbs are hitting at the same time, to progressing to just rudiments, and then those inverted paradiddles, and then just different stickings, and then obviously dynamics, and adding in the linear with the inverted paradiddles and the different stickings, and then leaving space. And that can be applied here. So the point of this whole lesson, I hope that it's been helpful for you, but it's like I wanted to start off with the basics of ghost note drumming, but I always want to come back to that creative drumming, because you're going to benefit from it. So it's like, if you're struggling with ghost notes, I hope that this whole lesson you can come back to, or you can share with any drummers who are, struggling with ghost notes, and be able to take away from it. And we started off with basic stuff and just kind of progress from there. And with those beats, as I was doing the 16th notes, something that's going to make it even harder, and this is something that I'm going to be honest with you that I'm still working on, is with those 16th notes, if we're doing 8th notes on the hi-hat, adding more accents, being more dynamic, adding more dynamics. And triplets, and the triplets is where, honestly, that's where I'm focusing, because I'm struggling a lot with those. And just adding accents there. And so ghost notes, you can really do a lot with those, and and it's not just beats either. I mean, like those Radamacue rudiments. I mean, there's just so many aspects in drumming, you know, where you can add those ghost notes. I mean, even single stroke rolls. So many different ways that we can apply those ghost notes. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification so that way you're notified every single time we upload a video here on Tune Musician. If this video has been helpful for you, go ahead and share this lesson with any drummer that may be able to benefit from it. I think that a lot of people could really be helped with this video and with just the concepts in it, especially from beginner to advanced. But also, if you're interested in drum lessons, check out the description below. There's a link to book a drum lesson with me. I can help you with whatever you're struggling with on the drums. Also, my course library is down there. If you want to get better with your weaker hand, if you want to get better with linear drumming, maybe your flams, your double stroke rolls, whatever it is, I got a few different courses and products that will be really helpful for you in your drumming journey. But with that being said, thank you again for staying attuned to this live. I love doing these. I haven't done one in a few months, and so I'm always jived up to do these. And so with that being said, until next time, stay tuned. If there's anything that you want to learn drumming wise, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to do a live video of that. But have a blessed day.